Hey guys, we are back here at Stargate to take another look at the special effects, the behind the scenes and special effects of the event. And we are here with Victor, who is our visual effects supervisor.
Yep.
I'm getting it right more and more often now.
You'll have visual effects burned into your mind.
I know.
The end of this season 1.
But we are today going to look at Inostranka.
One of our challenges on episode, it was kind of covered between episodes 1 and 2, was obviously they wanted to show the alien, in a flashback, the alien crash site, and they did so by having a P-51 pilot of the era kind of flying over to investigate this crash that had occurred, but nobody knew what this crash was. So, it was a little tricky because back in 1944, when it occurred, the planes didn't have lights on them, and you had a crash site out in the middle of Alaska without much light. So you can see here that in the shots, we built the crater, so that's all computer generated. There's actually nothing.
So none of that is
whole
real.
shot.
It's all CGI.
Correct. And then here, we even. We put the smoke in, and there are actually, nobody probably ever noticed or saw this, there are actually little people actually next to those fires. And then, this basically set us up for what we did in the pilot, which was your kind of welcome to Inostranka shot, where we had the president coming to Inostranka for the first time.
Right.
So we have here a Marine one, which is fully computer generated, as well as we originally went into we were going to use a piece of stock footage and just put the helicopter into it. But when we got to actually the piece of stock footage, the shot wasn't all that exciting, so we ended up kind of just building the whole environment in 3D and and kind of replacing everything.
So you added pretty much everything, like the snow,
the clouds.
Inostranka in the background, all the way back there.
The techniques we used here was, this is actually a few different map paintings that we did that we then projection mapped onto 3D geometry, so that you get depth in the painting versus it just being a very flat 2D object.
This is the shot of the helicopter arriving at Inostranka, and I think this is the first time that you see in daylight just the entire facility. It's just pretty amazing. What are the different elements that you included in this shot?
On this one, we did the same thing. The foreground mountain is actually a 3D mountain, and then the rest of the background mountains are once again projection mapped map paintings. And then the actual site itself is all 3D. So all the little vehicles, all the little people walking around, as well as all the detail work of the antennas and everything else. That's all a CG build. Then we obviously put the helicopter in, a little bit of the wind, the dust, and the slight kind of dusting of snow that's kind of blowing around within the shot.
Let's say you have the day shot of Inostranka. To switch to the night shot, to this shot, how long would that take?
That took about 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks for that.
Yeah, because the big changes, day to night, are actually big changes as far as visual effects go. Like if you were just to put it in another day scene, it's not as drastic, but day for night, you have to figure out, okay, what windows do you want to put lights in? What is your moon source, and how lit is it going to be? And on this one, we went in a very snowstormy, kind of dark, grittier look, because when you went into the scene, you're kind of in the guts of Inostranka, where you're pulling him in, and you got that kind of very grungy feel of Inostranka. So you want to make it not look very kind of Disney pretty, but like a little bit more kind of darker Blade Runner-ish.
Okay, well, I think we're done with all of our Inostranka footage. We'll be back next time with a look at some of the special effects from episode 6. And if you remember, Simon was caught in a building that collapsed in the middle of a wormhole. So that's going to be really cool, and that's going to be next time. So we'll see you then.